Lightning Sam, Pie Man. Shoot, forgot my charger. What's up, Koa? Flamevale. This is fine. Shadow Cow. Corruptinex. Kamikaze. Garlic bread. I know it's been some time. Hopefully, nothing happens. At the moment, it seems perfectly fine. But to be fair, I've had it where it looks perfectly fine, but it isn't fine. Which is frustrating when that happens. Yeah, I'm on layer 51, so... Oh wait, no, 51 for now, so... I made some pretty good progress since then. Not as much as I probably could have gotten done, but... Yeah, whatever. What's up, Alyssa? Sure, what's your question? What's up, The Gamer, Lydia, Fire Nation? Well, I wasn't really switching internets, but I was taking a break because I know I was having problems with my internet, so I decided to give my internet just a break just to see what would happen, and if it comes back, then I'll just get new internet. I kind of want to just get new internet anyway. Some way, somehow. Okay, there we go. Why did I decide to do this? I do have a video on why I'm doing this, if you want to go see that. But I do have a couple reasons. I do remember you, Kamikaze. I remember actually pretty much everyone here. What's up, Edgar? This looks weird though if you look at it. Okay. Right. I don't remember if I reset the Ender Dragons, so. But I do have a video. I mean, I can give a good rundown on why I'm doing this. One reason I'm doing this is because honestly I like mining a lot and I love big projects, tasks, I guess. I do remember you, Derek. That's one reason. Another reason is because of because 2 people have tried this project. Actually, I think more than 2, 3 people. And one person kind of gave up on it, I'll be honest with you. I'm not too sure if they'll return to the project or not. One person completely gave up. Or one group of people. Actually, they were both. Yeah. Those are the 2 core reasons. So pretty much one of them is I wanted to, and I guess it's a simpler way to say it. And another reason is because nobody has actually done this before, and nobody probably will ever do this again, I'll be honest with you. Until somebody's, I don't really see any reason for anybody to do this project again, to be honest. Especially if I get rid of the Nether at the end. Gotta hurry. There's a stupid bros. I've had some problems with the Ender Dragon recently. It almost got so bad I had to almost climb up the towers. bad. My sensitivity is bad. I don't like using... I'm pretty good at using the bow on Java. Nice. Wow, I'm really surprised that actually hit. What the heck? I'm pretty good with the bow on him. Much better. I'm decent, but... Oh, that could have been sick. Wow. To be fair, except Jam Slam, wait, who? I do remember you, Fire Nation. I remember practically everyone here. I think the only person I don't know is probably recently. I'm surprised he didn't leave. Okay, why did I just do that? Whatever. Okay, there we go. I'm not even in dungeon. You're good, Alyssa. I'm gonna be moving my stream stuff anyway, in the future. I'm just gonna mention how much of a pain this mesa was to get rid of. Holy Jesus, like... I don't know, Koa. I may use a bunch of levels. I've been to level 200 several times, which is really saying something considering how much XP you get. I'd probably be if I didn't waste any levels since the beginning, which is practically impossible. Unless I never broke a single pickaxe during this entire project, which I'm not like that. There's no way. I mean, I probably could have if I really put time into it, but if I really wanted to not break these or if I like, I don't know, I'd probably be level like 300 something or something like that. I was at 225 I think at one point. I think it was my highest, something weird like that. It wasn't even from the Ender Dragon. Oh yeah, I've lost lost. It's not as slow, it's not as quick as it used to be. Like, I used to lose a lot more than this, honest with you. But it's kind of unfortunate. I've lost, I think, 1,200 subs since... Which, I'm not too sure if they were actually real subs. They could have been botted subs. Possibly. I wonder when Kilo is coming back. It's almost been 2 months, which is insane. I know he's working on a website and stuff like that. I remember seeing that. Why the heck doesn't he just use his community post on YouTube? Just use his community. He has a community post. I don't think he even knows he has it though. So just use that to notify everybody on YouTube instead of sending people to Discord, or just using Discord. I'm surprised how much the chat is actually booming considering I haven't streamed for 2 weeks. Usually when I don't stream, usually the chat dies. It's kind of interesting, to be honest. I think it's because during that time when the chat died, not a lot of people stayed long term when I quit back, or when I stopped. But since I streamed for literally weeks on end, which I still technically have not taken a break on this project. I've taken like 2 or 3 days at max on this project. Even then, I still haven't technically taken a break. Not a full-fledged like month break like I have back in, I think it was December last year is when I took a break. So I mentioned that it's been around what, almost 2 years and 9 months almost, or 8 months. Actually past 8 months. It's like 8.5 months. You gotta consider the fact that that's total time. That's not even considering the amount of time I've actually spent in this world playing. Or not even just that, just mining. That's not even counting the mining. So if you count just total time, you gotta scratch off around 6 or 7 months of breaks, worth of breaks. So that's 2 years and 2 months or something like that. That's not even counting that's counting everything in the game. It's also not even counting just the mining portion alone, so yeah. Talk about not as much time as people may think on this project. Well, this project doesn't take as long as people think. I know 2 years is still insane, but 2 years, yeah, something like 2 years or so. I know that sounds insane to probably 99% of people. But considering how big this project is considered, and if you consider in the total time it takes to complete this project, it really isn't as bad as it seems. Seriously. Also, just a reminder to anybody, I do have Patreon if you want your name in this world. I do have Streamlabs if you want to donate. And that's really about it. Also Discord if you haven't joined yet. Also, I got rid of some of the benefits on Patreon because honestly, I really don't want to deal with that. I'm just going to focus on benefits of the world and not focus so much on of benefits of this project that associate with this project instead of trying to focus so much on weird benefits that don't really mean much. I'll try to think of more. I may do a submission Patreon. So like legacy members can submit one thing. That would be interesting. Like to to be put in this world. I may or may not have to build it though. I may or may not have the resources to build it. I'm not too sure though. I'm considering that as a benefit. I may just do that as a path, like after I finish though. So, but yeah. Cut blue, yeah. What is those swirl things? Yes. The place is kind of weird right now, to be honest with you. I'm not as talking nearly as loud as I sometimes do. I also learned a bit more about that science, or I have more fundamental understanding of the science of that psychology. I should start posting more on that actually. I literally have not been on Discord in an eternity, to be honest. It's actually, I've probably been on this project, or not this project, but it's probably been before I even took a break from streaming to yeah, probably just before. I haven't been on Discord since I took a break from streaming. Oh, I just realized, Chibi, you changed your logo. Like, I literally haven't been active whatsoever on any form of media. Honestly, it'd be weird if I was active on media and was streaming. I know Kilo kind of did it, and Scenic did it, which I'm not too sure when the heck they're coming back, but even though Kilo said he was going to come back by the end of July, which was, I'm guessing was postponed because of his website. What the heck is he doing with the website? Like, where is he taking his channel? I'm super curious. Oh yeah, it was a fun experience of playing Bed Wars for the first time, getting used to Java controls, and playing Bed Wars for the first time. Talk about a mental overload. With some friends that actually play it, or kind of play it. God, that was quite the rush. I learned pretty quickly, I'll be honest. I got slaughtered the first match or so, and then I actually did decent. I was actually somewhat competent in Bed Wars for once. It's pretty fun, I'll be honest. Oh, if you were streaming, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, he was talking on his server. Scenic was. I do like cats better, to be honest with you. I'm just glad I'm getting rid of this section, like actually mining it and not getting rid of the stupid mesa. Talk about a mess of a section. Like seriously, this section was an absolute disaster. It was so confusing. Trying to figure out what blocks I should mine. I had to mine like 5 layers of one part of the section and then I had to go back and then re-level out the other parts. It was confusing. This is practically an entire section. Pretty much entire section. Which is very rare at layer 51. Usually it's only like half a section or quarter of a section. God dang it. Keep falling in the holes. this is so much better. I only have 0.2 drop frames, which is better than 50% drop frames, which that means like every other frame is lost, which, as you know, it's like 60 FPS, so that's a lot of frames dropped. It's 30 frames every second lost. So like, even if I don't stream for a while, I'm still gonna be working on the project, or at least try to work on the project. There's sometimes where I really just don't feel like doing anything. Sometimes it's just horrible for me to do, but honestly, it's not that bad. I will survive this project. It's basically survival. Honestly, this project, at least for me, is survival. This is like the true test. Like, I'm not saying you can't do this. I mean, you can do this project with like self-discipline, don't get me wrong. But unless you're like literally obligated to do this project, which I wasn't, I just wanted to do it. It's basically about cruising and surviving the next year or so of this project, which is gonna be very. Also, I don't understand why I keep getting those weird blocks. Talk about a test of willpower, though. Jesus. Holy, oh my god. I just can't really think about what I'm doing most of the time. What's up, Dark? Oh, you changed your name. Wobbly Time Lord instead? Where are your donation? In your PC. Oh my god. God, dude. To say what's up, Rafi. I don't think I've actually introduced you yet. Or not introduced, but said hello. I don't think, at least. What's up, Senior Pickle? Oh my god. Doing pretty well. Dark. What's up, Nicholas? God, dude, the comments, I swear. Sometimes. You know, it's still weird going from like that direction to this direction. It's so weird. I just realized I have to get rid of the wall. Why did I not realize I have to get rid of the wall? Literally, I've been doing this project or this section for like a month. I think 3 weeks or something like that. And I just realized I have to do the wall. The what is it? The east wall? No, west wall. The west, I guess. The west wall. I'm not sure why I just completely ignored that. Getting out of this place is kind of a pain, I'll be honest. Getting out of this section. Luckily, the next section, actually, no, all sections are gonna be horrible to get out of. Wait, no, I can just, never mind. I could just add a, waterfall. The drop frames are slowly going up, which is kind of, very, very slowly though. It's like very slow, like 2% right now. I hope they don't just continue to go up, which they are, but really, why is this happening? I don't understand. Why are there random blocks? You could say they're like the, silverfish blocks, but I don't think so. They've been very common for some reason. Is my game breaking? Like, can you imagine by the end of the section, the final section, it's gonna be like, the game is gonna be glitching and stuff like that. I have to mine without haste and stuff like that. That would be so weird if that was actually the thing, actually the case. It'd be the weirdest thing. It's like, imagine if my game just can't load after a certain point, it just crashes as soon as I get to a certain point. It's like, well, you cannot mine out the entire world. And if you can't mine it out, you probably can't blow it up either. Give me a second. So, Wesley, I have not been streaming that much. I took a break from streaming because of my internet, mainly. That's the main reason, to be honest. Actually, I really don't have any other reason besides that. It's just that. Because I was having like 40% drop frames and stuff like that. It wasn't working, so I just decided to take a break just for a little bit, and it's working fine, at least at the moment. If it happens again, I'll just restart my router again. Just to see if it would happen, if it could happen again. Or just unplug it in general. Thank you, Senior Pickle, for the $1.99 donation. Or $1.99 dollar donation. You're good, don't worry. Doing pretty well. It's definitely not 60%, it's like 25%. Or something like that. It's 25% if I remember seeing it. Which isn't that bad, to be honest with you. If you really think about it, it really isn't that bad, 25%. I know that sounds like a lot, but honestly, it's better than 60. So, German Empire. Oh, thank you, Ash, for the $10 donation. And the message is much appreciated. What's up, Endermaster? Nah, it's 25. I remember when Dark donated that 200, it took away, I think it was 25% of almost exactly, so that's the only reason I know it's 25%. 60% would be insane, like, I'll be honest with you, 60% would just be like, I don't even know how that would be legal. 60% sounds ridiculous, I'll be honest. Like, that's like borderline, like, robbery. 50% should be at most 50%. Jeez, man, RTX 2080 to i9 9000, 9900K. That's absolutely actually pretty insane, I can't lie. What's up, Joe? It's 431 by 100 because it's 431 this direction, halfway around the world, or halfway across the world, and that's 100 width. 431 by 100. I picked that because of beacons, and just because it makes it easy on the world, because I could have just mined 862 by 100, but honestly I didn't have the beacons for it, so, and I don't want to get the beacons for it, so I decided to do it this way, and it's because honestly I want to get update videos out for this channel, so I decided to do sections that don't take 5 months or 6 months. I could have technically mined this entire section in one go if I wanted to, or this entire world in one go, or not the entire world, but at least this second half of the world in one go, but obviously I'm not going to do that. Alright, see ya. Senior Pickle, also what's up, Cypress? Forgot to introduce you. I got pretty lucky with video editing, I'll be honest with you. What's up, King Deshi? Deshi? I almost forgot how to say it, but... What is if I wanted to mine half of the world in one go? That would be insane. That's... Each section would literally, or each layer would take... what, like a week? 2 weeks? Or something like that? It'd be kind of insane. One layer would take 2 weeks. Imagine if you just made an update video for every layer, or every like 5 layers. That's pretty much the equivalency of it. I don't know actually how long it would be, but 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Probably, possibly close to a month. Actually, no, never mind, that'd be way too slow. Give it like 2 weeks. Yeah, Adobe Premiere is pretty finicky at first when you start. I've actually gotten pretty competent at Adobe Premiere. Obviously, there's probably a lot of effects I need to know about, but obviously, I think the effects are probably going to be the hardest thing to, the most time-consuming thing to learn. Everything else is actually pretty okay. I know how to do transitions, edit, or text. I know most of the effects. Well, not most of them, I only know a part of them, actually. I know how to clip, I know how to... Yeah, pretty much a lot of things, actually. These update videos have really helped, and that's making that timeline really helped push, I know they were simple edits, technically, but honestly, looking around in the editor constantly, like, I didn't just make the video, I was looking around, I was testing new things, I was looking at things, I was basically experimenting a lot. I just can't wait till I get, what's it called? To the final update video. That's gonna be an interesting video. I wonder how good I can edit that video. Because I want to edit it myself. Because it's I'm like crafting my own video. Best possible video. Or what if I get into like the Dimensional Massacre video, the final video on my channel. Yeah, it's quite a bit. Just finding everything is kind of a pain for me, to be honest with you. Mainly because I didn't actually use the editor. I haven't actually used the editor that much. I think I've only used it twice. For 2 videos. No, 3. 3 videos. I've only been on Premiere 3 videos, and I know actually quite a bit about it. Oh, I did torrent, don't worry. I got it. Unfortunate that the link that I had got deleted. I still have it on a flash drive, though. I gave it to one of my friends. Because I know he likes editing, so... I consider doing... Python, actually. I just don't really have any reason to do Python. If I actually had a good reason to do it, I'd probably do it. I can learn it probably pretty quickly. See a flame veil. I have a video on that fatty. Patty. I don't know how to say it. Fady. It can be. There's a lot of weird things about driving though that, well, at least for me, I really held myself back a lot with driving, I'll be honest with you. For some pretty dark times learning driving, personally. Driving the car itself is fine, but... Honestly, I honestly trust... The only thing I really trust my thinking in driving is literally my skill in driving, that's it. And my ability to kind of figure out what other people are doing. It's still not that great though. I still make quite a few mistakes driving, especially if other people are in the car. I can't talk or do anything unless I listen to music. Obviously you're not supposed to, but like it's even worse. Like some people try to multitask and do it. I literally can't even multitask and do it. Like it's so bad. Like I know you're not supposed to, but some people, I've tried it once or a couple times and it still just did not work. I just can't keep I can't divvy out the focus well enough for me personally. Oh, okay, that's interesting. You know, I actually consider doing an intro, but honestly, I really don't care for it at the exact same time. Mainly because, obviously, this channel isn't exactly a channel that, isn't really a content channel. It's just a project channel. Maybe in the future, I'll do something else on this channel. I'm not too sure, though. Maybe. I may switch to a new channel. If I do something else in the future. What's up, Eliza? What's up, Ian? Like, I can do it with, it's weird though. You would think, I would drive better with, like, less people, but I actually drive better with more people. Unless it's under a very specific situation. Very specific. Like, if it's a complex route or something like that, I'd take one person. But if it's just, like, something simple, my performance anxiety actually gets better with more people, to a degree. Mainly because they can start talking to each other instead of talking to me, which distracts me pretty easily. Which is one of the reasons, if I ever drive with anybody, I literally do not talk whatsoever, unless it's a very, very mindless conversation. Which, to be fair, I do overthink everything, so I should not do that. Alright, see ya, dark. Oh god, bitrate's going down. Sorry, not bitrate. Yeah, bitrate. I forgot to mention, when I was doing the Bed Wars episode, not episode, but, playing Bed Wars with my friends, my hands were shaking the entire time. I couldn't really actually stop my hands from shaking. It was like performance anxiety with combined with, like, adrenaline. Imagine how weird that is. Imagine having super performance anxiety and then combine that with weird adrenaline rushes. It was a weird feeling, I'll just say that much right now. Like, I wasn't really, I mean, I was nervous, I just actually couldn't even help my nervousness. It's like if there was some kind of, like, what's it called? I don't know what it's called, actually. For llama revolution. Yes. There really actually aren't that many llamas here. It's weird. Probably gonna get, I want to get to layer like 40. I want to get into the 40s at least. I wasn't even doing that well. Like, it got worse. Like, my performance anxiety was actually good. Or, not good. Once I got slaughtered the first time playing, yeah, absolutely demolished. The second time, that's when it started kicking in. Also, I forgot to mention, there was one person, one of my friend's friends, I guess you could say it like that. He kept spawning near me. He was pretty good. Like, he's very fast at bridging and stuff like that, which that was my biggest weakness playing. I could have probably done much better if I was actually decent at bridging. I kind of feel that, Rafi. I've actually done that. I've never gripped it that hard, my god. But I have gripped it pretty hard sometimes. It's really funny when people try to, like, when I have that performance anxiety and they say, like, oh yeah, you should be more careful, you may kill somebody or hurt somebody. It's like, you really think, are you kidding me? You really think that's gonna help me? It's like you're criticizing somebody who is already terrified. If you make one mistake, then it's all over. You serious? That's why I don't drive with anybody, because I know nobody can technically judge the way I drive, which obviously I'm scared of the judgment of how I drive. How people judge me of how I drive. I was gonna finish the conversation, or not conversation, but the comment earlier. Oh, first lesson, yeah, that makes sense. I was pretty tense most lessons, I'll be honest. You know, honestly, my best bet, if I would have known I'd benefit the most from practice out of anyone here, I could have literally just drove myself like around the block a couple times just to get so familiar with the controls. That could have helped a lot, actually. But no, I let my performance anxiety literally like eat me alive. But I'm gonna finish it real fast. So there was one of my friends, one of my friend's friends, he, kept spawning near me every single time because I didn't realize what color he picked. And he would go for me literally every single time, which, because obviously he bridged very quickly. I didn't really actually have a lot of time to do much. And let's just say that, like, I kind of got my revenge on him, to be honest with you, but I didn't really, like, win against him, but I did get my revenge at one point. Oh, gotta love SI Demon. God, it's like, the penchant for vengeance is, like, unmatched. It's really bad. I've never actually used my demon function, because I'm gonna talk about psychology a little bit. I'm gonna throw in some occasionally there. I could harness that, Code Blue's water. I'll be honest here, highway driving was terrifying the first time doing it. It wasn't bad getting on the road, or bad when I was on the road. It was getting on the road, it was kind of terrifying, not gonna lie. I wish I would have just drove myself though, but honestly, I was kind of stubborn with that because I had no really reason to drive. I didn't want to just drive, which I should have done that at least circling around the block, because my house is like near a loop. I could have just done the loops over and over again just to get so used to the car itself. Good thing driving to school helped, actually, quite often. Trust me when I tell you, I've made every single mistake driving probably possible. I'm not too sure how I actually haven't gotten any, how nobody has actually said anything about it to me. About, like, it's not that bad right now. Especially since I can finally tap into my performance for once. I actually know how to tap into my performance. And improve driving in general, or awareness of driving very well. For once. I wish I would have known how to do that earlier, or at least a while back. That would have been nice. That makes perfect sense why you're not able to drive in the Autobahn. That makes a lot of sense. Want to feel want to? That sounds like, if that isn't the most NE extrovert intuition statement I've ever heard in my life, then, yeah. I just had to point that out, like, come on. Honestly, my advice to you is literally just make yourself as, wantable as possible. Because honestly, when you ever, like, want somebody to want you anything like that, you have to think, like, would you want you, if that makes sense? Or, like, if, say, something like, your looks, or something like that, it's like, would you want to be with you? It sounds weird, I know, but it's like, you gotta know your standards, yourself. I don't know how to explain it. It's really hard to explain, but it's like, how would you expect, you gotta really think about this, how do you expect other people to either want you, look like you, or it's like you gotta serve your own standards first before you think about other people serving your own. I really don't know how to explain it, but I hope you get the idea, though. It's all about self-reflection. Let's just go with that. God, I almost forgot my pickaxe. There's a lot of problems that could be solved, like depression and stuff like that, just by self-reflection. Which obviously typing yourself would help with self-reflection. any SI users want to be wanted. I wouldn't say like consistently, so like any hero type. But it's like I would have to, for any advice for anybody who wants to be wanted, it's literally like just make like a checklist of like your best qualities and what qualities you can improve. So like looks, if you're not okay with your looks, how do you expect other people to be okay with your looks? Or something like that, if that makes sense. It's kind of a confidence thing actually as well. What's up, Nick? I don't really know actually. Like I estimate around 25 to 2,700 hours, but I'm not actually really too sure. It's probably less than that, to be honest with you, but oh well. I've over, I think, 600 hours of streaming, probably close to 700 now. And I've barely streamed in comparison to how many hours I've actually put into this world without recording. It was really hard to think about recording without anybody watching. It was weird. So I just recorded just to talk to my friend. If I didn't have my friends to watch the stream just to chat while I do this project, it wouldn't have been that bad to stream. It was really hard to just think, oh yeah, I should just stream just to stream. That's why the first section wasn't recorded. The 2 million was almost completely recorded for some reason. I was on a roll. 4 million wasn't almost recorded. Actually, I don't think it was recorded at all. The 6 million wasn't recorded whatsoever. I sort of regret not recording at least like a layer or two of those sections. I'll be honest. I don't know if 9 million. I think 9 million was kind of recorded. Quarter was recorded, sort of. I don't think I've actually recorded a full section. I think the only exception to that is the last section when I time lapsed. I think I'm gonna just refresh my inventory pretty often, just so I don't forget later, because I probably will. Let's see, Ash. So Austin plays. Pretty good, Austin. Yeah, I've been slowly going up levels. Very slowly. It's pretty nice to stream again, to be honest. Hopefully it stays like this for a while, I really hope. For a while. You know what the interesting part is? Even if somehow I like never had internet again, I can still technically just do this project, which is funny. It's like this project is pretty, unless my PS4 completely dies. Actually, no, it doesn't even matter. I can just get a new one and just log in to my PSN and then just get cloud storage, the cloud save that I recently had, and that'll be good. So yeah, even if my PS4 dies, I'll still be fine. Should be fine at least. Which I really doubt it. PS4, I don't think the PS4 is gonna die. These things last like an eternity, honestly. Yeah, before this project ends. Even if my PS4 dies after the project, I really wouldn't care after that. After I finish the overall, the Nether the End. Oh, the Nether's gonna be so fun though. Sup, best MC boy. I'm pretty sure McDonald's Wi-Fi is actually faster than my Wi-Fi, I'll be honest with you. Like, even if my Wi-Fi was twice as fast, I would be fine. Like, literally. If it was just twice as fast, which isn't that much of an improvement, I'll be honest with you. But, it should be good. What's up, Austin Brown? The fact that I can stream is insane, to be honest with you. Considering like the bitrate, it's funny that like the recommended bitrate is, sorry, not the recommended bitrate. The recommended, let's just say the recommendations for this Wi-Fi speed is literally like browsing and watching one person watching videos, literally, and I'm 4,000 less than the recommended bitrate, which is 6,000. I'm at 2,000, 2,200, 2,400. Yeah, let's just say it's kind of, it's something, honestly. What's up, Ryan? Alright, so has anybody ever seen that video by IBX2Cat called Minecraft will last 100 years or something like that? Okay, I'm just gonna mention that video is basically what I wanted to create at one point. That video right there is what I wanted to create. When I see a video, I thought about creating it at some point. That's pretty much the video I wanted to create. Just a different format. Much different format. Actually. And I'm curious, if it does last 100 years, how long will this legacy last, this project last, in terms of like the impact after? I doubt it's not going to be much, but you honestly really never know. He even mentions that Minecraft is not a game, but a platform. That literally word for word what I've said, practically word for word. It's like, my god, dude, are you serious? Like, you basically took the words out of my mouth in this game. Yeah, same here actually, Rafi. If somebody else, I'm really glad nobody here at my house, at least for now, doesn't use the internet. I'm so thankful for that, my god. No idea, like if one other person used the internet, it would literally, I would not be able to stream whatsoever. Did the stream crash at one point, or am I going crazy? It seems like it did. So south, I am mining out an entire Minecraft classic size world. Console classic size world. I just recently hit 50%. It's like 48 million blocks total. I've probably mined around 24 million blocks, I think, at least. I think it's close to, it's 23 or 24 million. Between that number, those two numbers. Or destroyed, I guess. Mined, destroyed. Where I'm at, it's horrible. Compared to like 5 minutes from my house, it's like horrible. Like literally 10 minutes from my house. I could have literally gotten like gigabit internet or fiber, which isn't weird. Like 15 minutes. I think 15 minutes from here. From a drive, 15-minute drive. No, less than 15. It's like 10-minute drive. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff, dude. Okay. What's up? Everything covered it? Wait, everything covered? I thought that was it for some reason. I have no idea why. I think I'm going delusional at this point. Also, I'm just gonna make I'm gonna make this stream 3 hours. Like, I'm gonna stop at 3 hours regardless of where I'm at. Unless I'm like unless I'm at the very end of a section. That's the only exception I have, is if I'm at the very end of a section. I'm gonna make each stream 3 hours, unless I'm... yeah, that's pretty much it, 3 hours total. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to aim for 3 hours, which I don't think I've aimed for... I don't think I've hit 3 hours the days that I wasn't streaming, to be honest with you. Streaming helps with the just 3 hours, boom, hit 3 hours. It really helps with consistency, I'll be honest with you, with this project. Because I either don't play at all, or, sorry, not play at all. I play very little, or I play a lot on this project. Like, I'm very inconsistent when I'm not doing streaming. Which explains why it took so long to do the first section. First quarter of the world versus the second quarter. The first quarter took like a year and 8 months. The second quarter took like a year. Or something like that. To be fair, the first quarter had like 3 or 4 months with the breaks, but besides that point, it still took over a year and a half to get rid of one quarter, which is very slow. Streaming really provides a lot of consistency within this project. get to 49, but I'm not too sure if I'll make it. Okay, there's one layer done. That was quick. Yeah, water. Gingerbread fam. What do you need help with? That's what I'm wondering. What do you need help with, seriously? Some onyx. I don't think I've actually seen your name. This is the first time I've seen your name. That's something. That's actually pretty funny. Actually, you know what? That's kind of funny because I think it'd be the same way for me, actually. It's really funny how I can help people so well in certain situations, but I can't do it myself. It's very... It's not even really hypocritical. I mean, it's kind of hypocritical, but, it's like giving somebody advice and then just... It's like, I wish somebody else would, Sorry, not... Honestly, I'm extremely stubborn when it comes to advice, I'll be honest with you. I'm pretty critical. It's very ironic, but I'm very critical towards, when other people give me advice. Because I'm trying to see if it, like, correlates to what I know. And it's really funny when I criticize other people's advice. They get, like, incredibly triggered. But I don't really blame them all, to be honest with you. If somebody criticized my advice, that wouldn't be that bad. I'm usually pretty good when it comes to criticism, I'll be honest. I know People who say that usually aren't, but honestly. I love how the bit rate's very, very, very slowly going up. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just slowly going up. It's been going up this entire stream very, very slowly. You know what's even funnier, when it comes to advice giving? I have a friend that basically is almost the same type as me. At least in the context of like advice giving and stuff like that. It's really funny how similar we are. It's just the fact that we kind of like give each other advice and then we kind of don't really like listen to each other's advice. I can feel it. Like, I don't, like, he could probably say he doesn't listen to advice that I give him, or I could say, but we honestly really don't. Because it's like, we're trying to basically say, hey, my idea is important, you should listen to it. Both saying it. It's like, we're literally basically talking to a wall at each other. It's kind of funny in certain circumstances. Obviously, this isn't 100% of the time, but it is. It does happen. It's really funny, actually. I kind of want to talk. I want to mention him about it next time, just to see what he thinks about that. Figure out my preferences and like trying to give me a I guess you could say good experience. I guess is a good way to say it. I don't really know, like when you ask me to roll the windows down and so, or like do you prefer, it's all about preference, do you prefer to like use AC or roll the windows down? It's like you're asking me out of everybody. It's like if you knew my type, you knew my functions, you would know I literally do not give a single thought about how comfortable I am in a situation. I'm practically a masochist, I'll be honest with you. I guess that's what you get when you talk to your similar type. It's pretty funny when you talk to your own type. Because you're practically talking to a wall. Or not the same type, a similar type. Oh, it is lagging, god dang it. The most accurate way to figure it out is go on Discord and go look at the type grid. I'm gonna have to add on to this, but go to the type grid or go on Discord, go to personally typing and It's called Personality Typing and Analytical Psychology. Go on there, god dang it. Go on there and, I should have all the definitions to a type grid. It's a type matrix. It's really hard to type yourself though. You have to really understand the material well to type yourself. That is until, the guy who provides all this information actually makes a test over it so people actually can understand it easier. It's gonna be so much better. It's gonna be so nice. Like, seriously. It took me like a whole month. To figure out my own type using the, actually maybe not a month. It took like 2 weeks to figure out my type, comparing all the types, the descriptions of the types, the functions, how they manifest in people, the compatibility between all the types, how sympathy and empathy work, how literally our own thoughts work, how logic is processed, how our entire mind is literally, how humanity is basically one giant feedback loop, or one just giant loop of types and social change, traditions, stuff like that. It's kind of crazy how our own mechanisms of our mind work between certain types. And I'm pretty sure you're INTJ. To be fair, if you were an INTJ, you would actually somewhat care about what your opinions are, especially if you have FI Child, which is about opinions of other people, or opinions, just opinions in general. It's a moral compass. It's opinions on topics and stuff like that. So, to a degree, what the heck? Like, it'd be really cool to make like some kind of weird chart with that has the cycle. It's basically the cycle of humanity. That flow. It's basically like a giant flow chart of the types, the functions between all of the types. That'd be insane, actually. Yeah, pretty much. It's the flow chart of the types and the functions, which that's a lot of functions. That's a lot of arrows and stuff like that. It'd be really cool to see them. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Think about this. Why I said that humanity is basically one giant flowchart of functions and stuff like that. It starts with data, which is TE. This is why many types are so good at, or at least certain types are so good at, actually I'll explain that later. TE users can literally just pick up information and just expel it out to other people, because it's just data. They literally just collect data and just burst it out. TI processes that data and makes logical assumptions using logic, causation, processes it, and then the output is through FE, which is knowledge. And then it's given feedback by FI, which is wisdom. So it goes data, information, knowledge, wisdom. Oh, thank you, Soth, from following. If you're still here, Soth. I don't say your name. Another thing is that's just the decision-making function. So here's another way to think about it. So when somebody makes a decision amongst other people, so like, what do you think about this? That's TE. I think that you should do. I don't know how to explain this. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I'm gonna ignore that. I'm gonna go with perception making. Perception's similar. It's what does it start with? I forgot. Okay, any extroverted intuition is, do you want to do this? Or it's pretty much the input of a person. It's the same thing as data, information, knowledge, and wisdom. So it goes, it starts with an original idea, which is any. It's the idea itself. It's like, I know you would probably want to do this. And then it goes NI, which is processes it, which is introverted intuition. I want to do this, which is also attached to SE as well. And then it goes, and then it outputs to SE. I'm gonna give you this experience, and then an SI is the memory itself, which is the feedback. And then it goes straight back to any. So Nexus. It's really weird. If you think about it, but it's really cool as well. That's pretty much the flow chart of the functions. Any SI users give choices to, or take away choices to NISE users. NISE users give choices or give experiences to any SI users. Or SI any users, however you want to say it. And then it just keeps repeating that. This explains why certain types are actually better academically inclined, because certain types like STJs and NFP types, these types, they have functions that are input functions. They have 3 input functions in there. It's called the ego. This basically means they can literally just take in information and just input it to another system, which that could be a person or the system itself. So like, they could literally just learn something and just regurgitate it back. They're basically designed for that type of learning. But you take something like my type, or a Templar type, which is like STPs, NFJ types, like mine. We're basically just processors that mainly process. We have 2 processing functions. And we can just output it through how other people feel, or through knowledge in general, and through, or it's just through output through bringing it to reality, bringing things to reality. That's why TI users can't really take in too much information at a given point. It's weird. Because it takes so much energy because you have to process every single bit of information. It's like, is this true? Is this true? Is this true? Does this make sense? Does this logically make sense? Which is why TE users can technically TE users have the highest IQ by what IQ is, which is the capacity to learn. Because they can store so much information, especially TE SI users. SITE users technically have the highest IQs by default. Because of that ability to store so much information. INTJs. Alright, so INTJs, the only reason they're good at strategy is... Freaking Perez, man. The only reason INTJs are really good at strategy, or they're known for being strategist, is because they can see really far into their own future and plan with their TE, which is it's very good at execution of things. They can not only just do that, but they can also use SE as a way to output as like a tactical thing. So not only can you kind of tactically learn to plan using your far vision of the future. It's kind of like INFJs in a way, but it's that TE parent that makes you really good at like planning and stuff like that. I don't really know how to explain it. I think that's the only way I can think about why INTJs are the strategist. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I do too, don't I? I'm pretty sure you also have that strange urge to master every skill as well. Actually, no, it's technically different for INFJs or INJs. You would have the strange urge to master every skill. Mine would be find a skill that's useful. It's about being useful versus just mastering a skill. If that makes sense. It's weird. The funny thing is, even though we may think we know what we want constantly, sometimes we don't. We have to watch so I'm just gonna mention, if you want to get good at something, just watch what other people do, and just watch the best of the best, and literally you can mimic what they do, in a way. Talk about mental training. We're basically the best at mental training. We also have the best performance of all the types, possibly. We have the highest skill cap of all the types. And so if you want to be the best at a game, just keep putting work into it, and you probably will eventually. If that makes sense. Okay, that was weird. You may not think you can be good to master them, but you'd be surprised. You may have a lower skill, like in terms of natural ability, you may not be the best. But if you just keep putting work into it, you will. You technically have the highest skill cap out of all them types. Besides INFJs, obviously. You may not feel like it, or think you may, because you lack TI, so, or you kind of lack TI. It's weird. If you don't wait, never mind, I read that wrong. So some things, probably not good things to master, but there are probably some things you probably could. So if you wanted to master, you can. don't forget, you also learn the fastest of all the types in terms of like we also learn the fastest in terms of like improvement. We can improve the fastest due to sheer will. In terms of sheer willpower, mainly. Because we have that laser focus to focus on it. We're also technically the least habitable in games as well. So if it's a competitive game, we won't be as, I guess we won't have as many habits as long as we just kind of think, or we can kind of just, actually no, it's kind of mine. Never mind. I was gonna say that's for all INJs, but technically it isn't. I guess in a way, there's one advantage you have and there's one advantage I have. You have an advantage of being able to just research a skill with your TE parent and master it that way. I can master it in a way in certain things because I have I can kind of think my way through things more than just actually just kind of going through with them. It's weird to explain. It's like the ultimate tactician. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it. Even though technically you're tactical as well. Let's see Ash. It's also why you're technically the best executor, or sorry, not best executors, but the best at strategy is because you don't have, you have TE that's... I'm pretty sure you do have plenty of willpower, dude, especially if you're not a hero type. At least you should. It's honestly really about how you, honestly for you though, it's kind of how you feel though. I honestly don't care about my own feelings. Or at least, let's just say if I do, they're very negative. I can't trust my feelings. I'm really not surprised strategies. I'm a little bit tactical though, it's weird, even though I'm like all about like future plans. I'm very good at like so let's say a game like Smash, many types of people can, or Smash Ultimate, many types of people can literally play, need the experience to fight certain matchups. Oh my god. Certain types of matchups. I really don't need that personally. I kind of just need to know, I just need the knowledge of fighting that type, or fighting that character, which is TI. And just the knowledge of what's happening. That's pretty much it. And I can basically get around. I can basically. I know rhythm games are probably my favorite, to be honest, or one of my favorite types of genre games. In terms of skill though, I really do like Smash for its skill gap. Or skill cap, I keep saying cap. I've been working on Joker. I want to become one of the best, honestly, just to see. I want to really, I've never actually pushed myself in the game. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, in terms of strength, you have very good, I would say in terms of, like, practical use, you're very good at managing. one of the reasons I can kind of think my way through things is because of TI child. I can literally just if I just trust the things I think about, I can just get through it. That includes debating. I can literally just use pure logic to get through certain subjects. It's super weird. I literally just scope through articles and stuff like that, and I can just pick out information. That makes sense, is logical. I just kind of just keep scoping through information over and over and over again, and until I finally figure out the truth. I was talking about, I think I was talking about how the strengths that we both have. So like your strength, you have strengths in like, in terms of logic, in terms of problem, like I have skills in problem solving, you have skills in like research and I guess you can say like, I don't know how to explain it. Money, yeah, I don't really know what skills actually rationale benefits, but I read fast as well. It's called holics or movement types. I read fast very quickly. I read quickly. Sometimes too quickly. Actually, most of the time I read too quickly. I sometimes skip sentences I shouldn't be skipping. The thing is though, I probably read slower because I have TI, so I have to process everything I read, or at least I have to process it quite quickly. I read fast in a way. I think the rationale is the reason why INTJs are very good at strategy. INFJs are basically the ultimate problem solvers. Sort of. I would say ESTPs actually, but I could say, I can make a debate for that. But TI child is pretty crazy actually. I literally know when I'm right or wrong in a situation. I know technically everybody is in a way, but it's like I really know, like I know what the truth is behind a situation. I can basically just think my way through a subject if I just trust my thought. I know what people are doing as well in terms of like manipulation, so it's like good luck even trying to that's why I hate those weird like jokes, those weird pranks that's like that are meant to kind of fool you in a way because they make no sense. Especially if I get peer pressure to do something stupid like that. That's kind of interesting actually. I don't know if that's SE or TE. It sounds like TE though. Not yet. Like, I really know the truth behind a situation. Just like how that person, Jeremy, called out a logical fallacy on me for some reason. Or not called out, but used a logical fallacy on me, which is hilarious. On Discord, if anybody remembers that. Calling that logical fallacy. I should have called him out for it, to be honest. wrong in that situation. Especially when I actually talked to a TI user, like TI hero user, one of my friends. Actually, I know a lot of TI hero users. It's kind of weird. I talked to him about it, and he basically proves my point right and disproved the other guy's point very quickly because he actually has an understanding of physics. Yeah, that night, I'm still pretty sure I was correct. Like, I even have proof. I could get my friend on there to disprove what he says and what I really hated that cop out. Yeah, it was that night. It was a really stupid cop out. He basically says by the end of the project, by the end of that discussion, that's like, hey, technically nobody's right in this situation because somehow I pull out this weird metaphysical civilization level 1. Humans have no concept, even though technically metaphysics is literally. I had the correct definition of metaphysics, even though he pulled out appeal to authority, which is like, hey, maybe we should go ask a physicist or an expert on what metaphysics actually is. Yeah, great. Great, man. Thanks for not proving your point whatsoever. He literally he had no proof. Because he never actually described to me what his definition of metaphysics is, even though I can describe it so perfectly. Metaphysics, I can literally just break down the word metaphysical. The word metaphysical literally means, meta means beyond. Physical means what we perceive through our senses, so it's beyond what we perceive through our senses. That's what metaphysical is. And trying to prove that time literally is the definition of metaphysics. I even use cognitive functions as a way to prove that time is metaphysical. I still don't know if he thinks that I'm correct or not. It is pretty easy to trick someone. I don't do it personally, because a TI child. I literally would have so much guilt trying to do it, to be honest. What's up, Sharon? So yeah, I'm still on the board of metaphysical, gravity and time being metaphysical. Like, there's no... Until somebody can actually show me proof or has a good point that he can actually point, that they can point out that gravity and time is metaphysical. What's up, Austin? Yeah, so. Like, my friend even further stretched out my points because I know he would be interested in that conversation, to be honest with you. Like, I'll give an example. This is gonna use weird. Yeah, time is metaphysical. I don't know where he kept thinking that it wasn't. The pick has efficiency 5, breaking 3, mending 1, silk touch 1. Like, I don't care. Like, okay, so his point was with time, you can feel it. We know it's there. That doesn't mean it's metaphysical. I think he was stuck on the fact that it's a philosophy. It's a philosophy about beyond things that are beyond the human senses. I don't think he understands that, like, the human senses does not mean we can just kind of just... We know something's there. We can measure it. We know it can be changed because of gravity, because gravity and time are interlocked, if you ever thought about that. I mean, it's technically interlocked with mass, but seriously, like, mass affects gravity, but it doesn't mean that it's technically physical. Because physical things can affect metaphysical things. Like, think of the brain and the mind. The brain itself contains metaphysical objects like the cognitive functions and the neural pathways that we make decisions by. Yeah, like time we can't see, we can't feel it. It's literally a concept that shows that everything is moving. That the universe is moving in a way. It's literally not even like a, it's pretty much the most metaphysical thing. Time by definition is something that's not in the present moment, which is SINE. SINE is future oriented and past. It's memory versus what could happen. What could happen versus the past. Those are interlocked, which means that technically be metaphysical in that sense. Actually, it can literally never be physical unless somehow we evolve to be like 4th or 5th dimensions, which is ironic because that's also metaphysical. It's really funny how many metaphysical things he threw in there. He was like, so the thing about nobody here is right because we're level 1 civilization. That's literally like telling somebody, hey, your criticism doesn't matter, nothing matters, just go. It's pretty much the same concept. It's like nothing matters anymore, I'm gonna be a nihilist, and just goodbye. That's pretty much what he... It's like, come on, dude. Just because humans are a level 1 civilization, and you want to do a cop-out with saying that nobody here is right, does not mean that you're right in that situation. I kept thinking he was just pushing the conversation further. Like, I don't know if I was actually getting through him. Yeah, exactly. Time is literally a man-made concept. You can technically say all words have some kind of meaning that is a human concept, but time really is something that's like, it represents the past and the future. It's never the present. Time is actually never the present. Present in itself doesn't actually exist besides being the physical, which is SE, which is what people are aware of. Which half of the population is aware of the physical realm in terms of moment, which is why we have like STPs or my type, that is somewhat aware of what's happening around them, which is the physical world. Some types aren't aware of it, and they're just aware of, consciously aware. Technically everybody's aware of it to some degree, but conscious awareness is different. If that doesn't prove that time isn't metaphysical, I don't know what is, honestly. Yeah, now technically doesn't exist. Now is an illusion. The present is an illusion because it's only just there is. Like, that's really all it is. The present is literally the physical world. Anything beyond it is metaphysics. Anything before it is a memory. Or the past. Which is not really metaphysical in itself, it's just a memory that the brain can store consciously. So even if you say like 0.0001% in the past or something like that, something ridiculous, 0.00001 seconds in the past or something ridiculous, it's still in the past. So like gravity is a weird example. Gravity is kind of debatable, at least somewhat debatable. I don't even know why I even debated with him with time, to be honest here. I looked more into it, and it's like, dude, I don't really understand if he understands what I mean by metaphysics. Okay, so gravity, actually, knowing that time is metaphysical and knowing it's interlocked with gravity makes it so much easier to know that it is metaphysical, because my friend told me, what gravity is made out of, or is that not gravity? He kind of brought this point up. He mentioned that black holes, or, gravity in itself are literally made of particles, or not made of particles. It's literally made of nothing. So if you think humans can actually see nothing, made of no light, which is where our eyes bounce off of, everything, it's also connected to space-time, which space-time in itself is metaphysical, because we had to use something to represent the physical realm, or the realm itself, the third dimension realm, or I guess you could say just our human exists, or the reality in itself is space-time. Everything else is contained inside space-time, and is connected, and it's the bend of space-time, which is what gravity is, so that would mean that gravity is metaphysical. What's up, Max, Morm? So yeah. There you go. You could say, like, gravity is interlocked with time and gravity, but here's the thing. Technically, gravity, it's the bend of space-time caused by the mass of an object. Caused. That doesn't mean that it's connected to it. I mean, it is, but in a way, but if you think about it, metaphysical can actually be connected to physical, because think of the body and the mind. The mind is connected to the body, or the soul, I guess. The mind and the soul, which is metaphysical, which is connected to the body, or the brain, which makes decisions. So it's metaphysical basically with physical, so it's like the metaphysical and physical technically are interlocked with each other in a way. So that if that doesn't prove that gravity isn't metaphysical, or it proves that gravity is metaphysical, then I don't know what else to say, to be honest. It's like, no matter how much, even with machines and stuff like that, technically that's warping our perception of reality, which isn't our perception, but it's actually just the machine's perception, which still makes gravity metaphysical, because we can't see it, we can't smell it, we can't taste it, we can't use any of our perception senses, I guess, not really perception, which is what metaphysics is based off of. Mind you, I spent 5 hours researching this. I'm not kidding either. And I just kind of used logic, and then I helped some other person help me flesh out my points, and even added new points. So was that? Okay, so I saw that actually, about the photo. Can you actually see that with your naked eye? Here's the thing. Black holes in themselves, if they don't absorb any form of light in the way, they're literally, you can't see them. They're literally invisible because of the lack of light surrounding them. Because remember, the so it actually did show. So what of it? Okay, so if a black hole in itself can't really show itself without bringing in any form of matter into the hole, I guess itself, if that makes sense. Because black holes themselves aren't really made of any particles or photons or anything like that we can't physically see. Okay, that's what I thought. I was certain you couldn't see a black hole, which that pretty much makes black holes on their own metaphysical. Yeah, you can see the mass around it, but you can't see the black hole itself, which obviously you really can't see space-time itself either, because space-time itself is a concept. Even if people disagree with me, that's pretty much true. Because it's like, if you really think, do you really think the third dimension itself, can we actually see the third dimension? Or space-time? Can you go out there, can you go to space right now and see time? Or space-time? It's like, yeah, no. So it's like, I have all the proof in the world to prove that he is wrong about gravity being metaphysical. I mean, I'd love to bring, like, you and my friend on there just to, like, help back up my points, because I'm not too sure if he'll listen to just me. Dimensions are odd, but we can't see the dimensions themselves. Or not the dimension, but the third dimension is is the reality, not space-time. I kind of misconstrued both of them. The dimension itself is technically the third dimension, which is the 3D realm, which is what we live in, which is what we can see. It's the physical realm. The physical realm is 3D. Space-time is not. It is everything that isn't the physical, if you really think about it. What's up, Mr. Thenix? I mean, that's what a dimension is supposed to be. Like, remember to think about it, like the 2 dimension. Oh my god, I keep saying 2 dimension. Second dimension, I guess, is a good way to say it, is literally a line. Sorry, not a line. It's a flat surface. It's a surface, an area, I guess, of... It's a 2 dimension, come on, it's a flat world. 3 dimension is everything else. Oh yeah, dimensions themselves are very confusing, but that's what the third dimension is defined. It would be defined as is everything that is really, it's just the reality we live in, I guess. That's really the only way to describe it. What we can perceive as a thing. Sort of. 1D is, 1 dimension is, I think it's just a point in time. A point in... It's just a point. Oh yeah, definitely. It's everything. Your brain is processing it constantly. obviously certain types process it in a way, so like SE users process information through what they see, what is real, versus like any SI users that process it, what they've seen in the past, or what is not there, or what could be, if that makes sense. So that's how your brain processes it. So yeah. Yeah, it's literally just a point in space, I guess, or just a point in general. To be fair, dimensions don't really matter too much in this debate, I'll be honest with you. I don't even know where we brought up dimensions, actually. Maybe I mixed up dimensions. What's up, NRT? Yes, the map is 430. The map itself is 860. It's the entire world. It's 862 by 862. Yeah, time is often described as the fourth dimension. Okay. I'll describe INTJs real fast. INTJs are the strategist, I guess is a good way to describe it. The ranger is another way to describe it as well. So the ranger is a wayfarer. They're all about treasure, about wanting treasure, which is usually money, because it's TE parent. TE users usually do want money, or status, stuff like that. They can become insanely greedy, or very, not selfless, but more like giving to others. Not really charitable, though. I forgot what generous that is. Abstract. Thank you, NRT. I really hate having a bad attention span. Like, horrible attention span, I hate it so much. I mentioned I have a bad short-term memory, but... a good short-term memory, but it doesn't... Short-term memory does not mean attention span. So INTJs, they're rangers, they're wayfarers, the quadra, it's called a quadra. They have the function stack NITE, FISE. NI hero, they have NI hero, which basically means they're all about what they want, or at least that's their primary process, is they process information to figure out what they want in a situation. They also have TE parent, which is where they take in information and make decisions based on what they think. They're responsible for what they think, or not what they think, but what other people think. They're rational. They give input to TI users. They can absorb tons of data. They can literally just research a ton. They can master a skill, any skill, pick one. FI child, they have very high morals, very optimistic towards how they feel towards things, their moral standards, their mood. And then SE, they're very innocent about how they feel about things and stuff like that. SE inferior, this is similar to mine, is... Yes, INTJs have a horrible attention span. I hate having SI demon. I'll explain SI demon in a minute. SE inferior, it's also linked. Also, all these functions are linked to your shadow type, which I'll explain that in a minute. SE inferior is performance anxiety. What's up, Royal Goo? SE inferior is performance anxiety, and if we can get over that performance anxiety, we can basically outperform anybody, at least short periods of time. We also have the highest skill ceiling in terms of type. Alright, yeah. Royal goo. That's pretty much it. Performance anxiety, aspire to become the best at performing. Can become the best actually out of all the types besides INFJs. Any nemesis. This is, I've never actually ran into this, but this is apparently really bad for like relationships and stuff like that, both of us. It's unless you know the person enough, but it's worried about being betrayed. We're all about betrayal. SC inferior. We're all about obligating other people even though we don't want to be obligated ourselves. It's kind of hypocritical. But actually technically all SC users are like that. SC inferior, yeah, it's pretty much like fear of abandonment because of SC inferior. All about giving other people a good experience. I forgot to mention that. Any nemesis is just worried about other people betraying, worried about being wanted. Because the whole point of the nemesis is like, you want somebody or something so badly. Your nemesis is like, hold on there. Maybe they don't want you to do this, or maybe they don't actually want you, or something like that. That makes sense. I know INTJs statistically have the worst time when it comes to relationships. But if you can just get over that worry and just trust the other person, it's all about trust. If you can trust the other person, you'll be fine. TI critic. This is a pretty cool function because you're very critical about what you know. You also kind of think you're stupid yourself. It's weird. You criticize your intelligence constantly. That's pretty much it. You verify. You really can't help to not verify what you know in your beliefs because of TI critic. FE trickster. You're basically unaware of ethics. That's pretty much it. This is one of the reasons why sales would be very difficult. It'd be very hard for you to do, like, let's just say a skill like sales. Also, I was gonna mention, it doesn't help that you're also very systematic, so you don't really know what people you're getting out of a conversation. So that doesn't help. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the biggest virtue. It's called the virtue and vice. Every type has it. Yours is literally it's trust versus paranoia. That's pretty much your ultimate virtue or vice. You could become literally the most trusting, or you could be the most paranoid. It's weird. Alright, here's a fun one. SI Demon. This is pretty much where our attention span comes from. Also, our horrible memory. I don't know about you, but I have a garbage memory. So, like, I remember doing things, but I literally have no concept of detail when it comes to what I actually experienced in the past. Like, we literally just don't care about the past whatsoever. That's pretty much it. That's your function stack. Your most compatible type. This is also quite important. ENTP is your most compatible type out of all the types. It's your best. It's your most compatible type in terms of all types. Friendship, romantic, stuff like that. It's your social compatible. It's your most socially compatible type. Yeah, same here. It's like, it's very blurry, I'll be honest. It's one of the reasons why it's like, do you remember this? Like, unless it's something I really, the only way I remember something is if it's something like, let's just say I hit a bicycler one time, like 2 or 3 years ago. You would think something that traumatic, it was pretty traumatizing at the moment. I don't remember almost anything about it. It's kind of nice, actually. It's like, do we actually suffer PTSD at all? Do SI demon types really suffer PTSD? Unless something triggers it somehow, like something physical has to trigger SI demon. Like, it has to be like a person betraying you or something like that, and then when they come back, you don't remember too much of it until they come back into your life, and then all those memories come back to you. If that makes sense. Like, it's weird. Also, we're stupidly vengeful. Like, our oh my god. Penchants for vengeance. Whatever that word is. Let's just say our vengeance is very high if somebody betrays us. It's like, you did this to me, you were loyal to me, I'm going to, like, screw you over so badly, I don't care how long it takes, I will get my revenge. It's pretty much SI Demon. So if there's something that you regret, just try to get it out of your life as much as possible. Try to reduce all physical contact with whatever it is. That's a good advantage we have. We're not really stuck with those memories, if that makes sense. After a certain point, they will completely fade out of our lives. Which is one big advantage we kind of have over that. I mean, to be fair, we're very, very, very pessimistic towards negative things, which is kind of a downside. I mean, like, unless somebody, like, hey, do you remember this, 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 or this? Like, yeah, I do remember that. Do you remember anything about it? No. I could literally say I remember this about quite a few things, actually. I just don't remember almost anything about them, which is sometimes nice, but kind of annoying in some cases. Kind of a big rip. It's always very unfortunate when you have a memory that kind of sticks with you even as an SC user. Especially SC inferior user or SI demon user. KilloCrazyMan's an INTJ, that's interesting. I kind of blew his mind a bit when I showed him his type and stuff like that. It's kind of funny. It's like I can spot an INJ pretty quickly being one, to be honest with you. I can tell by just the performance of somebody doing something, like when he fought on Hypixel. Yeah, I can totally tell he's an INJ. To be fair, I don't know any other type that could do a project like this. or any type that can walk to the farlands. And I'm not saying INJs are the only type that can do it. They just have the easiest time to do projects like this because we have sheer willpower over other types. Almost all the types, actually. We can literally break through barriers, give us enough time. So even if you don't think you're breaking through a barrier, you probably are. Like a super hard level in a game or something like that, give it enough time, we will just break through it. It honestly does not matter. What's up, Brayden? What's up, Jack? It's going pretty well. It has been a while. It's kind of funny, we have the exact, it's weird though, because I thought we'd have different views, but apparently we have the exact same views on YouTube. When I mean truly exact, I mean like actually the exact views on YouTube. In terms of like, hey, we don't want to grow too much, we just kind of want to just do this project and then leave. It's kind of funny how we have so similar views on that aspect. It's so crazy. Almost identical views. Maybe not leave, but you get the idea. What's up, Sean? It's really nice though meeting another INJ. We're pretty rare in real life compared to online, even compared to like, yeah, online. Especially in real life. I want to actually meet an INTJ in real life, that would be kind of sick. Online it's a little bit easier to find our types, but honestly, it's not impossible to find our offline, or what's that, offline, in real life. I don't really know what I'll do, actually. Yeah, a few sciences. We talked about, I went back into that metaphysical versus physical thing. And then I just talked about personality typing. Also, when I say we're rare, I mean like, INTJs are literally like 1.5% of the population, or 1% or something like that. That's counting both genders. Which is insane. You're gonna have to use the type grid, dude. You're gonna have to learn the type grid, or learn the type grid, learn the quadras, learn the cognitive axes, learn how they come off to people. And once you learn the types well enough, you'll be able to distinguish each of the types, all the functions, all that kind of stuff. What's up, Silver Skull? I have it in the personality typing and analytical psychology channel on Discord if you want to go look at it. I have basically all the information you need to type somebody. I could add more if I wanted to, which I probably will. What's up, James? Tons of new people joining for some reason. It's kind of interesting. Out of nowhere. INTPs. I think that's interesting. I do like talking to INTPs. I knew 3 of them. I know I've had some bad experiences with at least a couple of types. I've never really had any bad experiences with INTPs. INTPs, I've had some experience with ENTJs. I have an ENTJ friend, which is funny. It's really funny that I have 2 friends that are the golden pair of each other. And when I was so surprised they were golden pair. They seem like they clash a lot. But honestly, at the same time, your golden pair, you kind of do clash in some instances, if that makes sense. It's really funny though. Those 2 people, I really would not have thought they would be a golden pair. I told them both that they're golden pair of each other, which is hilarious. It's like I never really thought I'd actually see a golden parrot, especially those two types. They're pretty rare. INTPs aren't that rare though. I mean, they are pretty rare. I mean, all intuitives are pretty rare. ENTJs are really rare. They're probably, I think, the 3rd or 4th rarest type. ESTJ, yes. Oh, your father's a... that's interesting. Wait, that would mean that... what is your... wait a minute. Is your mom an ISTP? It's also extrovert, not extrovert. I'm just gonna mention that. That's a weird correction that many people need to remember. It's extra, 'cause you need extra people to gain energy. That's what I learned. It's extra, not extro. If you correct it, if YouTube tries to correct you, or Google, don't listen to it, because it's actually wrong. It's really cool talking to your golden pair. Wait, no, she can't be an ISTP. What type of compatibility would there be? There's no way it can be an ENTJ. Wait, what is your ESTJ? Also, there's something really cool I discovered. Not counting the cognitive focuses, not cognitive focuses, cognitive, yeah, INTJs are actually the second most rare due to general statistics. From what I've heard from CSJ himself, since he has quite the knowledge, I'm gonna actually trust his knowledge a little bit more, just because I know he's very well versed into it. So at least for now, I'm gonna trust his knowledge of being the second rarest behind INFJs. Are you actually an INFJ in RT? Okay, I'm gonna confirm you're an INFJ, because just real fast. Okay, your golden pair is an ENTP. Your golden pair is an ENTP. Lightning, Sam. So I'm gonna try to confirm you real fast. So, are you by chance direct? Are you direct or informative? So, like, direct means mean what you say, say what you mean type of thing. Very, like, you know what you're saying. You're not using context most of the time. This is all general, what you do most of the time. Let's see real fast. Okay, so are you direct or informative? This is kind of hard to explain, but like, informative types, they basically can't stop talking, to be honest with you. Especially when it comes to storytelling. On certain types, obviously. I kind of hate crowds as well. I like one-on-one talk. It's like I'm like basically the master at one-on-one talking, I'll be honest with you. I could pretty much converse with literally almost anybody one-on-one. That may be a surprise to some people. Alright, so in RT, the only reason I'm typing you with this is because it's more accurate and... Alright, so you talk a lot. So do you explain things informatively? So like, do you add a ton of extra information to what you're saying? Do you like beat around the bush, I guess is a good way to say it. Because you may actually be an INFP. because INFJs are very common typing if you took the test. Okay, so here's a good way to think about it. Are you... I know you're responding, I'm pretty sure. So like, do you let other people choose their role in the conversation? I'm pretty sure yes, right? That would mean you can't be an INFJ. Oh yeah, talking one-on-one is way easier. Even though it can be awkward at sometimes. That's actually kind of funny from an ESTJ point. That's actually pretty funny. I wonder what types actually like crowds. Then if an ESTJ, maybe it's kind of a nurture point, but I don't think it is. I think nature kind of, maybe certain types. SFJs probably like crowds. I would think at least. Maybe crowds annoy everybody. Regardless of their type, to be honest with you. Oh, not everybody, majority. So, are you abstract in RT? Like, are you all about the theoretical or the what if versus the what is? Imagine liking crowds, yeah, totally. I just don't like crowds because they're literally like almost uncontrollable. Because those MBTI tests are garbage. Yeah, I don't know the people either. It's not even really not knowing the people, in my opinion. It's more about like just the not even really the control. It's just like the, I don't know. I just don't really see the point in having giant crowds like that. I just can't get anywhere. I can't talk to anybody or anything like that. I can't really like communicate whatsoever. It just gets, and I feel like everybody's looking at me because of that SE inferior performance, or like how I come off to people. So what ifs? Okay. Yes, INTJs, all intuitive types are abstract. Go look at the type grid. It's in the description, or sorry, not description, Discord. It's the it's called personality typing and analytical psychology thing. It should still be there. Hopefully they didn't put it in the graveyard yet. I'm keeping it there probably forever until so I can get more people into this science. Okay, so you're abstract. Are you so you're pretty much an INFP, like, so do you make decisions based off how you feel constantly? Or like, is that your like natural preference, immediate preference is like how I feel, my mood and stuff like that? Are you insecure about like how people think about you, like your status by chance? Do you worry about being a caring person? Like abstract means like, what if this could happen? What's the possible chance of this, something like this could happen? Or like, what if I want this? What if I could want this? That's why INFJs and INTJs are pretty extreme when it comes to wanting things. So you try to do you decide logically or rationally? So are you insecure about what you think? Because if you think you're logical, then I'm sorry, but you can't be rational and logical either. So if you're insecure about what you or what other people think of you, then you don't have any logic in you whatsoever. I'm just gonna mention that. Thank you, Inferno Blast. Because everybody's insecure to a point. It's just more about... it's more about how are you insecure. Extroverts are usually internally insecure about something. Introverts are externally insecure about something. Actually, you know, I'm gonna end the stream in like 15 minutes, so. Actually, I'm probably gonna finish it by the time this pickaxe runs out. Which is really nice, actually. It's like perfect. Yeah, I started 2 years and 8 months ago, or almost 9 months ago. Alright, time to do some weird stuff. Almost exactly 15 minutes from now, actually, I'm ending this stream. Okay, logic is... Are you aware of how you think about things? So, like, logically speaking, if this makes... If you have something like this, then this should cause this to happen. Like, logic is literally causality. It's all about Are you about belief, or are you about, like, how you think? Are you about how other people think, or are you about what you think only? Alright, see ya, Braden. Logic is literally your own processor of logic. It's their processor of, does this make sense does this make sense? That type of standpoint. Kinda, it's kind of a cause and effect. It pretty much is a cause and effect, actually, if you think about it. they talking about? Okay, so you don't make decisions based on how you think. So I'm pretty sure you're an INFP. If you want to figure that out, if you want to really figure that out, look up Who Are the INFPs by C.S. Joseph, and yeah. So do you make decisions based on how you feel? Because if you make decisions based off how you feel, or your moral compass, you may be an INFP or a ISFP, but you did say you were extract. Never mind, you're an INFP then, in that case. What's up, Zruler? Do you generally, when you make a decision, do you make it on based on your feelings, your moral compass? Are you all about your opinions on certain subjects, I guess is a good way to talk about it? So you're not? Okay. Honestly, you could actually be an INFJ just by those sentences. I've been looking at them a little bit. You may actually be an INFJ, even though, like, I don't know how to explain direct versus informative. Could be an INTP. Actually, no, you could be an INTP. Why am I not thinking about INTP? Alright, so are you... So you're all about what you think? Actually, no, here's a good idea. Do you desire things? Like, do you desire versus being told what to do? So, like, do you want to be wanted? I don't know how to explain that, but it's like, do you rely on self-discipline to get through things, or do you use willpower? I actually did play Java, at one point, but not really. I did play some Bed Wars with some friends. That was interesting. I got pretty decent at it, at least for now. I'm not too sure if I'll play it again soon, but maybe. Okay. You may actually be an INTP then. If you want to look up NRT, look up what's it called? CS Joseph, who are the INTPs, if you want to see if any of it resonates. Do you like, are you fearful of being fearful of not caring enough? Do you worry about what other people think? Are you worrying about other people being stupid? I would think that seems like INTP almost. To be fair, willpowered people can actually get pretty lazy. That is, if we don't have any form of willpower to go towards, like a path. Because think about this, willpower is like, what path should I take? But if we don't have a path to take, then what the heck are we using the willpower for? Also, because NI users are generally starter or finisher type, so we have really bad times at starting things. Really bad at starting things sometimes. That's the biggest flaw of willpower. Willpower drains quick. It's like a battery almost. But it can be replenished depending on what it is. The situation and what you're using the willpower for. Okay, yeah, that would make sense. I'm pretty sure an INTP then. I could tell you were pretty logical in those sentences earlier. I was really thinking that you were you're actually the complete opposite almost of your type, which is funny. But it would make sense that INFJ, actually INFJ and INT, that's an interesting mistype. Well, I'm not saying don't tell, I'm just saying worry about being stupid. I mean, unless they're actually being stupid, then you may want to criticize them for it. If that's the case. I'm just gonna say that right now. They'll learn eventually. But you gotta beat logic with logic. If they're trying to be logical and make no sense, then you can criticize their beliefs with your own logic, or that what you know is true. And I'm not saying that you should just like ignore their logic entirely to favor your own, because that's stupidly ignorant. That's being very arrogant. Just listen to it and just kind of think about logically if it makes sense in your head. Because an ignorant TI user will only listen to preferred input or last known input, so they won't actually, they'll just be stubborn and just won't listen to anybody because they think they know everything. They can. I'm not saying all TI users are like this 24/7, but that's the ignorance of TI users. You can criticize people's beliefs though. Well, I wouldn't really, actually, you know what? Actually, don't tell them they're stupid. Because that's kind of ad hominem. It makes no sense whatsoever. Pretty much just say that, just prove them wrong, if that makes sense. And if they won't listen to you, then screw them. Tell them to screw off, basically. What's that, Mason? Yeah, the grind does not stop. I wouldn't really say calling a stupid person stupid. I would say it's more like an ignorant person more than stupid. Because there's a difference between being ignorant and stupid. This is quite frustrating, I'll be honest with you. I may have to just end the stream because this is kind of frustrating. It's like this. You know what, screw it. I'm gonna go kill the Ender Dragon real fast. And then I'm gonna mine this stuff out and I'll end the stream. That's my plan. It's kind of frustrating that I have this little bit left. It's like, I'm usually pretty good when it comes to making progress and not finishing everything, but honestly, it's like the tiniest bit. Wrong direction. Also, I forgot to mention, if you are still here, Sam, are you horrible at directions? Because I know I am. I get lost very easily. Like, very, very easily. Yeah, I am too. Driving is a nightmare unless I have GPS, I'll be honest with you. When it comes to following, I can follow directions fine, sort of. I can follow GPS directions better than I can people directions, because I don't like... I love how direct, honestly, if you ever have to get somebody to tell you directions, please get a direct person, because I hate having informative people give me directions. Sometimes direct people can be too direct, but honestly, if they're pretty decent at directions, then do that. Like, I can even tell directions pretty well, actually. I just can't follow them, or follow almost any form of anything. Yeah, following directions is not that great either. I have to use, like, pure intuition in a way, and GPS following, obviously. I just like being told what to do when it comes to, directions. I do too, don't worry. I literally tell people when they tell me a secret, hey, tell me any secret, because I will forget it. Literally, I'm not kidding, I will literally tell them straight up. I will forget what secret you tell me, I don't care what it is. Oh my god, I'm so bad at this. I love how I'm really good at some points, but really bad in some areas. I have done that before. It's really weird. So AS7. ambivert is a lie in itself. I'll tell you what ambiversion is. It's literally an extroverted... It's a cognitively focused extrovert. Like, if it's like... Oh my god. It's a unconscious focusing... Ugh. An introverted extrovert is an unconscious focused extrovert. And a subconscious introvert is an extroverted introvert. My god, that's a lot to say. Hopefully you kept track. That's all it is. It's not, it has nothing to do with ambiversion. Ambiversion is literally a lie. That's all it is. Are you actually coming down? There we go, that's 200. Like, I have an extroverted friend that's very unconscious focused. He scored a 50% on basically everything, because he's so unconscious focused. Too bad I'm gonna have to get rid of these 200 levels, or at least partial of them. Part of them, because I have to make a new pickaxe, or a couple new pickaxes. I may have to use all these levels, actually. It's gonna be unfortunate. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm stupid. It's this way. I forgot where the heck I'm going. You know how lost I'd get in this world when if I haven't fitted. Oh my god! If I did not have a map, that'd be frustrating. I'm gonna end the stream now. Actually, wait. Oh, sorry. Okay, now I'm gonna end the stream. Wait, I missed a block. I'm gonna do a face reveal at the end of this project. Or if I hit 100k. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna end it now. Bye, everyone. I think I'll be good for now. Lightning Sam. Maybe in the future, though.